This is a guide for such madams as Create and Valkyrien Skies, and it is called a Trackwork. With this mod, you can easily create cars on wheels and track trucks that will have realistic motion physics. Let's get started. At the moment, the mod is in beta and is available on such versions of Minecraft as 1.21 and 1.18.2. And there's not a lot of content in it, but things may change with the next updates. For a successful launch, the Trackwork will require you to have a Create and a Valkyrien Skies, which also needs to have all the necessary dependencies installed. And to save you time, in my Telegram, I posted a ready-made selection of everything you need to launch this mod. It is worth noting that the tracks and wheels will work only if they are installed on an already assembled Valkyrien Skies structure with realistic physics. To begin with, let's talk about track trucks. They consist of two elements: the driving wheel and the suspension tracks. All of the above can be of three types: large, medium, and small. And the choice of the size you need, you determine yourself, depending on what kind of terrain you have and what obstacles you plan to cross. Let's start the construction. Each track must have at least two driving wheels installed in the edge positions and at least one caterpillar suspension, which will be between the driving wheels, but in our case, we will have three suspensions. Please note that I install them on the same level as the driving wheels, and these blocks become transparent, but this part is lowered, and it is not material. Well, it can be noted that the driving wheels can be of different sizes, not necessarily two of the same. The same thing works with suspension blocks. And also you can put a lot of them. Then we quickly repeat the same construction, but from the opposite side. Now we need to figure out how to manage it all. You will need a rotation source, and the rotation you need to feed to the drive wheels from the outside or inside. And now the next rule. In order for your construction to go straight, the belts on the tracked wheels must move in the same direction. Otherwise, a circular rotation will occur. The second rule is that each of the tracks must have the same rotation speed, otherwise one of the tracks will not keep up, and a circular rotation will also appear. The third rule is stabilization. Please note that when moving, one of the parts of your structure is lifted up or lowered down. This shows that your design is unstable and one of the sides outweighs the other. Accordingly, on the side that you have more inclined, you should put more heavy blocks or increase their number. Or use blocks from other mods that stabilize the design. A clockwork gyroscope or a Eureka steering wheel. Now let's talk about wheels and how to create cars. With wheels, everything is simple. We install them on our construction with realistic physics. Please note that the wheels also shift and lower after installation. The block becomes transparent, and to this transparent block, you have to install a rotation source to power the wheels. The principle of movement here is exactly the same. The wheels should rotate in the same direction and at the same speed, then you will move straight. In addition, the wheels can be controlled with a rest-down. A rest signal applied to the left wheel will turn both wheels located on the same axis to the right. The arrest signal applied to the right wheel will similarly turn the wheels to the left side. Well, the strength of the rest signal affects the angle of rotation of your wheels. Also, this mod has its own set of tools, which is called Tools for Caterpillars. Take this toolbox in your hands and right-click on any available space, and it will turn into a pressure gauge. And by clicking the right mouse button with a pressure gauge in your hand on any of the tracks, you will change its rigidity, so that it is easier for your mobile structure to climb the blocks. Now the minimum rigidity and unit have been set, and in this case, we have already set 3 units. See how the structure will behave after landing. And in this case, I set 4 units, the limit value. And to reduce the stiffness of the suspension, you need to hold down the shift and also right-click. Then the counter will go in the opposite direction. The same can be done with wheels. Calling the pressure gauge on an empty block, you will switch it to the electric switch mode. Calling the electric key on the wheels, you can change their position by shifting them a little in space. And exactly the same action can be done with the Caterpillar suspension blocks, also shifting them in space. Also in this mod, there is a suspension regulator in the form of a block. Do not confuse it with a bulk drive in the case, they have the same texture. By placing this block on a structure with tracks or wheels and applying rotation to this block, you will be able to adjust the suspension. The direction of rotation determines whether your suspension will rise or fall. Also, this block is affected by which side you will apply rotation to it. When the rotation is applied vertically, you will raise or lower the suspension. And if you put the rotation to this block in a horizontal plane, then you can tilt your design to the left or to the right. And this can be done from any of the four sides of your structure, which in some cases will allow you to compensate for the overload of your structure from any side. And with that, we will say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did, and I advise you to subscribe, because I have a lot of interesting Minecraft videos on my channel.